I can't believe that some people can't appreciate this nature that was made by God. Just looking around, we can already see that God does exist. I've got it. I have to show people that God does exist. Some people might not agree with me, but I am sure that if they hear what I have to say, I might be able to change their mind and make them believe in God. How do I start? I might as well ponder myself so that I get my facts straight.
An example would be the conscience that we have is the voice of God. So basically, our conscience is the voice in our head that tells us if what we are doing is good or bad. What if people say, our conscience has nothing to do with God? We had this conscience since the very beginning. God has nothing to do with it.
The explanation to that would be, God has everything to do with our conscience. Since the acts that we commit may be good or bad, we know it. Why we commit wrong, we know why we do it. Even people who commit wrongdoings, even they know they're doing bad. Why? Because we all have the feeling of guilt. It's in us. That's what makes us understand what we're doing. God has everything to do with it, because God is talking to us. There we go. Simple. But what if people say this?
God isn't real. How can someone so good be so mean? I mean, why do we have to follow him?
Oh, no. Let me think about it. And when I think about it, God takes a lot of rejection from the people he loves. They push him aside, but God's actions are justified because everything he does is for his people, and he doesn't give up on promises. A God with this kind of attitude has the right to exist. It's only right for him to request those things because he deserves it. That's it. Another question down. But one last thought.
People were driven out from their land during God's time. It's not fair for them. I mean, why do we have to believe in this God? This is madness.
Oh, wow. That is a really hard question. I'm not sure if I can answer this properly. Hold on. Let me collect myself and my understanding about God. Okay. So when I think about it, God has to be a strict lawgiver because of his love. He can't just let his people roam around and do whatever they want, because they're gonna end up hurting themselves and other people. God loves his people, and as much as it hurts him to do that to his people, he has to, because the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the single. Wow, that was a long explanation. I'm sure that will set their question straight. With this, I'm sure I'll be able to convince that God does exist. There's no doubting it. It just takes a while to ponder on the right things, but when I do get the answers I'm looking for, it feels so good to defend God. Thank you so much, God. I know you're out there.